G'day viewers, Peter here. How are they hanging? I'll just be a real quickie today because I've got a bit to do this arvo. So been working on the linkages for the mobilco slasher. I'll do this outside because I'm having trouble with the autofocus. So I painted this up yesterday, and this is the linkage setup for the mobilco slasher, and as you can see I welded the two tabs on because I like to use existing holes. I've got these two tabs out of phase. Now if you have a look at this, I was going to weld a boss on, bore the hole through, put a slit in it, and then weld on a bolt through to clamp it onto the shaft. And then I thought, you know what, we're not building the space shuttle here. So I just put a dob of weld on, and I thought I deliberately cut the rod a little bit long so that if need be in the future, I can just grind that bit of weld off easily and rotate it or replace the lever or whatever it is I'm going to do. Now that bit of 5/16 rod in the middle, you might remember I thought it was a piece of Chinesium steel, and I was going to use some just cheap and nasty steel because it's just a linkage for a lawnmower. And so I put it in the vise to cut it to length, and I got the hacksaw out, and it just skated across the surface. So then I got a file and tried to file it, and the file just skidded across the surface. So I thought, Jesus, that's as hard as a groom's prick. So I had to get the angle grinder out and cut it with an angle grinder. It was the only way I could cut it. So it just shows you how wrong you can be. I'm wrong sometimes. I thought that was a piece of Chinesium crappy steel and it would be ideal for this job. But it was a damn fine piece of steel that I would have used for another job if I'd known. So getting back to the mobilco slasher, so I'll just tell you a little bit about the geometry. I can't spend a real lot of time today because I've got to put a radiator in my car before dark. So I'll just put one bolt loosely in. So how the geometry of this works, just to give you a bit of a setup, there's a brake, there's a lever, there's an intermediate lever, and then there's a handle at the top. So when you pull that out, a piece of 2.3mm galvanised fencing wire, all farmers in Australia use that. So I will make another piece of fencing wire to go from that lower hole, because it's 80mm to the big hole, to the long hole, and 50mm to the short one. So that'll give me some mechanical advantage there. And then I'll make another piece of wire that goes from there to there. Now, just to put this in perspective a little bit, we'll swing that around there. And if I hold it, you can see that the angle of that linkage and the angle of the other linkage is about the same. And then when this one, the reason these are out of phase, because I want this one to pull this rod at 90 degrees. So if I put a straight edge up here, so if I find that pin, and then if you look up the end here, my hand's in the way, that'll come to about that bottom hole. So I've got to make a rod that goes from that bottom hole, some sort of linkage, to pull that pin to actuate the band brake. So that's my job. Now this little linkage and bracket here is actually, it runs really beautifully. I machined out those nuts nicely, and it's a nice piece of steel. So actually the actuation feels really nice. The other thing I did is I've lined up, as you can see, the band brake, it pulls straight, and then that other linkage to the intermediate pulls straight. Now, anybody that's interested, this is the other mobilco I've got. Now, this one is something of a beast. It's got an 11 horsepower Briggs motor. Now you can see this one is a little older because it's painted yellow, which mobilco, the old ones that were called mobilcos were painted yellow. Now you can see this one here is 12 inches narrower than the other one. It's 26-inch cut, so I'm guessing the wheels are about 26 inches apart. And this one I've modified. So it's got nice cast iron pulleys. Everybody pulls all the guards off so that they can cut properly. And if you look at the blades there, they're off a Greenfields mower because these ones cut anti-clockwise, and I put swing back blades. So see how the blades, if you hit a rock, they'll swing back. And because we've got a lot of rocks, in our front yard, and there's a little kickstart Villiers motor. So that's what I've been up to, fellas. Now you probably noticed I've got a black thumb because I've been painting. I was doing some painting yesterday, so no, I'm not a canufter. There's don't want to drop the sopper in here, but there's a black thumb in the building, so you all better run. But I've got to go now because I've got to fit this radiator before it gets dark. So uru, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.